it says no pedal, of course. Your choice was to play the rest literally. I assume that you thought about that and you do that as opposed to which you don't like as much, is that right?
Well, my teacher didn't want me to bring out the rests, so. But I think that this way it makes it more smooth and less chopped.
Did you ever play an Erard or a Play-El piano that Chopin used for his own?
No.
Oh, the two pianos of the time of Chopin were, first of all, Play-El, and second of all, Erard. Two French pianos. You never played them yet. I don't know. Where you live in Madison? Where do you live?
I live in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. You live in Milwaukee. I'm sorry. Okay, fine. I'm sure in Milwaukee these pianos are. There are people that own these pianos. It might be very interesting for you to play it. The sound is so thin that if you put the pedal down and go, it disappears almost completely, even though you have the pedal down.
Oh, so it's not that extended. The sound cannot be.
It extends more than a harpsichord,
but not as good as one.
As much as the modern piano. The modern piano has a very big resonance and a long duration of tone. So it is a problem to do this because you don't get the rest. Yes, but if you, with your hand, come up on the note very quickly and use the pedal, we get the effect of the rest without the bump of the rest. Good, and almost perfect. Let's get off the C faster. Yes. Stop, yeah. There is a compromise, a modern compromise with the piano that achieves both the rest, for me, this achieves both the rest and the smoothness of the mood of the section. Right. I prefer that to how you did it at first. Now, can you keep the mood, however you want to talk about this mood? I was enjoying a whole scene, a whole scenario. Now, the only part that, for me, changed the mood away from, well, how do you talked about these adjectives before. What's here, in your opinion? How do you feel about this part, and what are the words for you?
Well, according to what I've read on the internet regarding this resembles the pace of the donkey that Chopin and his friends were riding. But here I just
Wait, in Mallorca, right?
Yeah.
Pace of a donkey. Okay.
But I feel it more of a dance-like section.
A dance-like section. Yeah, right. I like the dance more than the donkey. A donkey doesn't have a very good connotation in our culture because donkeys were used for carrying potatoes and things like that, and they're making a funny noise, and they're not as beautiful as a horse, and lots of things, and people say bad things about donkeys. So I don't even know that the donkey inspires me so much.
Yeah.
But the dance does. The dance does. But what kind of dance? Because the thing is, you're doing something kind of gentle. But this, when you play this one here, there's a little bit of kind of maybe angst that you express. And I think that's intentional, right? You don't think this is like the end of a phrase kind of letting up the tension, but more Do you have a feeling what this is as opposed to what came before? Yeah, you see how you play it with kind of like a great vigor. That's very different. That's like an end of a phrase. That's less like an end of a phrase because that's going forward. Yeah, that's more here. Yes, I like that more. Then you're back to the going forward in it. If you take a little bit of time, that's one of the overall comments I would make about your performance was very competently played. You didn't seem to like to take a lot of extra time. You played it rather strict, I guess I could say, rhythmically. Yeah. Maybe it's your taste, maybe it's also your teacher and everything. This for me is an area where you could take a little bit of breathing space. Wow. To me, that kept the mood of this particular dance. One little thing like that goes off from the prevailing mood makes a very strong impression in this piece. It's like, we're in this beautiful thing and then there's something that unstabilizes us a little bit. So be very sensitive to keeping consistent with your idea in a given part of this piece. Now, of course, this changes later. It becomes more stormy. Yeah, absolutely. But can you get through the whole first page here and don't have anything that is anxious? No, but just things that go on. Yes. I basically liked it very, very much. I thought you contrasted. That was one of your words in the beginning when I asked you. Contrast. Yeah, and I think you did that very well. You showed in the relative minor a different mood. I don't agree though, like we were talking before about this, I don't agree with what you played here because that breath, for me, was too literally taken. Can we do the same idea of... that was with the breath, though. Can you... just a tiny pausa. You want that. That's just what you want. Right. Maybe that was a little too much the other way, but talk about onward smoothness. It didn't disturb from that. Can we split the difference now? Just do it a tiny pause, but a little more than you just did. Okay, I got the contrast, but I didn't get the hiccup. That was a great one. Let's try it again for good luck from here. more or pressing more and hitting less. Could we also not do the hitting here? Keep it. Not. Let's push them to you. Let's stop it. I think you got about 50% of it there. Yeah. I know you're very fast. The more you are sensitive to this concept of sound, the more I think you'll be close to your own adjectives of elegant and graceful. Okay, the sound was a lot of it, and the other aspect of it was the strictness of time, which I respect very much, and I think you have a very good teacher, because undoubtedly your teacher has good taste. You know, I mean, that's one of the problems with Long Long, isn't it? He has bad taste.
Well, everything seems to have a lot of styles to it.
Yeah, well, what is taste, right? I mean, if the world loves his style, therefore he doesn't have bad taste. To me, he does. It's not his fault. It's what he doesn't know about our great art that he lets himself play that way.
Well, because I mean, for someone who just bangs, who just sits at the piano and pounds 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have time to read. It's important.
Literature, right? History.
I do.
Listening, right? Knowing the art.
Knowing the art.
100 years of recorded history of our art is so accessible now with the computer, right? There's no excuse not to know it. I agree. I agree. You're close stylistically with these two things. The timing element there, we could probably just close here with your opening phrase in terms of where you take time, if you take any time. Let me just hear the first 8 measures. Started in just the right places for me, and I felt complete when you did. If you did that throughout the whole piece, it's as if when you get into the more technical sections that you seem to get stricter with time. There too, though, you could breathe. And, you know, just to jump back to the very end where we began, that would be a section where you could probably, to me, take more time. There would be time, and then because you did just now in the opening with the same material. So can you breathe in that? But you see where you would breathe it is first deep breath, and then flat stop. And then stop. Good. Yes, that was better. But now slow the whole thing down. here. Wait. Good. Wait. There you went up. To show the harmonies. I'm exaggerating, but I want you to pause a little bit so we can hear. Take your time. And drop now. You did pause a little bit, but the big pause moment would be here if you did it. Because it's stepwise, right? It's and then he suddenly jumps up a major third when he's been going up a chromatic. So you would be showing that compositional element. So pause and then from here. So we went through 16 measures here, and I showed you possible breathing spots, for lack of a better word. This would be the other element aside from the sound, which we talked about, which would keep things more in line with elegant and joyful, and what was the third? You said
graceful.
Graceful. Graceful. Elegant, joyful, graceful. Throughout, be aware of sound in the way we talked about, and also be aware of breathing spots. And I think you will add to a very good performance of this piece, which is already very good. Yeah. What is your other repertoire?
My other repertoire, what I brought, you mean what I brought?
To the festival.
The entire form, all four movements of the Beethoven Opus 2 number 3. And I also brought this ballade and the scherzo number 3. And additionally, I brought the first movements of the Liszt Piano Concerto in E flat major, all three movements of the Mozart K332 Piano Sonata in F major, Bach Prelude and Fugue in C sharp major.
Okay, you brought a lot of repertoire.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you in the competition?
No, of course not.
No. Well, you never know. Just asking.
It was because my pieces aren't that polished. I mean, my teacher usually insists put more emphasis on learning repertoire rather than just going to competitions.
Yes, which I think is the right choice. Yes, at least at your age, completely the right choice. Yeah, so I think it's great you're not in competitions. You can do all your growing and not worry about silly remarks by other people. Yeah, except for people like me who have to make silly remarks because we're paid to do that. But I hope you're not totally silly.
Yeah. I mean, in competition, there's a lot of unfairness. I mean, sometimes the ones who play well fail. It's because of connection. Like in the Van Cliburns, often, the judges had their friends.
Connections with the students, right? Or with other teachers.
Other teachers, Yes, I know. Like in the Clyburn, Fei Dong, I don't think she was that good, but since her teacher was on the jury, it helped her.
Of course, that's the way it's always been too. And Mozart and Liszt complained about those problems too.
They have competitions back then?
Well, it wasn't that they had competitions, it's that they had politics, just like they have politics now. Somebody knows somebody and therefore they get something, and somebody else doesn't who's better. And it's just the human condition. But that has nothing to do with your development as an artist. I think you got off to a great start. When did you begin?
I'm around 6 or 7 years old.
And you're 15.
Yes.
Fantastic, yeah. Well, I hope we see you again.
Thank you. I'm strongly considering coming back next year.
That would be wonderful.
It's a great festival. I mean, the teachers here are just very good.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're having you feel it's a worthwhile experience.
Yes, it is.
My policy personally is that everybody, I've been here 14 years, everybody I see and work with here, I give one free lesson to if they come through New York during the winter. If you ever come through New York during the winter and you want a free lesson, I will give you one.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Great.
Wow.